What's up, YouTube? It is your girl Latrina, and I am back again today with another tarot spread read. And starting off in our first row, we do get the card of the Empress in the reverse, as well as the Milady card, which does speak of an illness or a disease. And we also get the Queen of Wands coming out right on top of that Empress, and the disease card with that. Illness or disease is what that Milady, it's the Milady card. And she's laying down in the bed due to an illness or a disease even. And then we get the card of the Community in the reverse, right on top of that Empress. And we also get the Cognition and Awareness in the reverse. It says, after the game, the king goes into the sack like the pawn. Somebody got, what is that? Checkmate. When they put that king in the corner, when that king is trapped, that's a checkmate. And there's been no cognition or awareness in this situation. And maybe in that cognition, maybe due to somebody laying in the bed, due to some sickness or illness or disease even. And it's forced them in, they may be feeling alone at this time, because we get the Solitude card also coming out in that first row with this Queen of Wands. And it's looking like she's coming out as the reverse Empress, which tells me that she may be a false person. She may not be an Empress at all. She may not be abundant, and she may not be able to produce or grow anything. She may not be a good mother, and she may not be a good person, seeing that she's coming out in the reverse. And she may be jealous, a jealous queen, because sometimes the Queen of Wands, she can be on her bad, aspects. She can be jealous, really jealous and bitter. But whatever the case is, it does look like this Queen of Wands is coming out as a reversed Empress. So maybe she poses as an Empress, but maybe this illness is actually, this illness probably throwed her into the reverse. Also, maybe this jealousy that she's been displaying, throwed her into the reverse. And she also, it even talks about this community being in the reverse due to this illness. Maybe she got a whole entire community diseased, or some kind of illness spread throughout a community because of this Empress in the reverse, which is coming out as the Queen of Wands also. She got a whole entire community ill with it, facing illness right now at this time. And she even got the whole entire community in the reverse. They may be angry at this Empress. That may be what this reversal. And then with that no cognition and no awareness, speaking of being in a checkmate, somebody may have put her in a checkmate. Maybe those, actions that she did take with the community got her feeling like she's in a checkmate. Somebody's in a checkmate. Their king has been actually surrounded, in the game of chess. You make those moves, and that's actually the intention, is to take the king and to eventually come for the queen as well. Those are the two major players on that chessboard. coming out in that first row. They showed it. They showed a chessboard on that card right here. But it came out in the reverse. So whatever games that she was playing, this Queen of Wands, she got put into a sack like a pawn. That's what this card says. And it threw her into isolation. And it even spread throughout the community, whatever illness this is that she. And the illness, it can be all the way starting from just, falsehood, and then all the way leading up to something like, HIV, some kind of deadly disease that this community has contracted from the lies about this Queen of Wands, from the games that she was playing. It got her feeling like she's a pawn in a chess game. And then in our second row, we do get the card of the main female in the reverse. She's coming out in the reverse. And I'm not sure if this main female is the Queen of Wands or if she's just another part of this community. Because whenever you see that lets you know it's way more than one person. And then this main female, it says that she's jealous, because we do get the jealousy card in that second row, along with this main female in the reverse. So I'm pretty sure this is a different character than this Queen of Wands. I'm not sure if they're the same person or if it's a different character. And then we also have the Emperor coming out in that second row right next to the Empress. So this is speaking of some kind of couple here, even they may be married, twin flames, or some kind of couple that maybe this main female is jealous of this Queen of Wands. That's maybe what I'm seeing too, because for her to be in the she's coming out in the reverse, and she's actually looking directly at the Queen of Wands. If you can see that, there's the Queen of Wands, and then there goes this main female looking at her. You can see her looking right at that lady. She may be jealous of this, Queen of Wands, because we do get discontent and boredom also coming out right with that Emperor. And maybe this Emperor is in some form of discontent and boredom. Either him or this main female is in discontent and boredom due to some rain. They maybe didn't fill their jar when their cups were full and running over. Maybe they didn't even, collect the rain, because this did come out in the reverse. So that's pretty much what I can get from that. And it's caused some sort of discontentment and boredom upon this twin flame couple or this married couple, because they do come out together back to back in the same row. We get the Empress in the reverse in this first row. And then in the second row, we get the Emperor showing up with the jealousy card. So I'm not sure if this Emperor is jealous of this Empress in the reverse or this Queen of Wands. Somebody's jealous in this first two rows. We're seeing some jealousy. And she did come out in the reverse. So I'm sure that she's the one that's jealous. She's jealous of something. Or maybe she's not jealous. I don't know. But no, she did come out with this jealousy card, this main female that is in the reverse. And they both came out in the reverse. So maybe that jealousy has transformed into anger, like jealousy and anger go hand in hand. So when that's in the reverse, maybe she's trying to hide that jealousy. That's why it showed up in the reverse. Or maybe, due to the jealousy, She got thrown in the reverse as this main female, but she is definitely looking directly at that Empress here. I mean, at this Queen of Wands here. She's completely jealous of her, but she does not want the energy to show because it does come out in the reverse. But the energy is there. It's just in the reverse. So it's not being showed or displayed. And then in our next row, we get the card of concern. There's an older gentleman that is in some concern about a situation. And maybe it's this Three of Swords that does come out also in that third row, along with the Hope card and the Knight of Swords. Some sort of heartbreak, and then the Knight rushing in. That speaks of fast action. Maybe this fast action was regarding some hope that they had, that this you know older gentleman had. He had some kind of hope about some fast action that was taken. And then here we get another game piece, another chess card, another chess game card with some pieces on the board. And it says, many love when they win, others win when they lose. Oh, many lose when they win, and many win when they lose. And then it got the no insurance message on the back of that, which tells me that maybe there was a situation regarding this older gentleman that did cause him a heartbreak. And it was about some fast action taken that he had a lot of hope for. This Knight speaks of that fast action. And then this is the hope card, coming out with this this older gentleman. And he might be the emperor. But we do got the community card in this first row, so he could be his own character. This may be another character showing up on the spread. Because so far we got the Empress, the Queen of Wands, and then we also got the Emperor right here. He got people bowing down to him, and they worship this Emperor. This Emperor is honored and adored, and he's worshipped by those that are around him. And we, get this jealousy card. Maybe this main female, she may be jealous of this actual Queen of Wands. But this Queen of Wands, she shows up as the Empress in the reverse. So, and it looks like she, caused some kind of an illness to fall upon her community. Her whole entire community contracted this illness due to these games and stuff that she been playing with these chessboard. She got herself feeling like a pawn, and she's even into the sack. She said it's like the king goes into the sack. It's caused her some isolation, where she has to be alone. She is alone. Whatever, illness and whatever game that she was playing has put her into isolation. And even some disease. And then in our fourth row, we do get the card of the Seven of Cups coming out with the Coffin card in the reverse, as well as the three of Pentacles in the reverse, and the message of the Witness on that Seven of Cups. See, that Seven of Cups speaks of delusion. And a lot of people even say that it can even be depiction of, someone being poisoned. Someone putting poison in someone's cup, because we get this coffin coming out right with it. And then that Three of Pentacles speaks of teamwork. So maybe someone was a witness to this actual, like a food poisoning or some kind of sabotage. There was a witness regarding this delusion. There's a lot of witnesses because, we get that community card coming out. And there was a team effort. So that team and them two, the witness and the team confirms that there was a whole community that was involved and they worked as a team, to maybe put somebody to rest, in this coffin coming out, or maybe to bring something to life, because when that coffin's in the reverse, someone's trying to bring something back to life or something is alive. Um, and we do get the message, the marriage card also coming out in the reverse. So maybe that lets me know that there was definitely a breakup between this emperor and this empress that show up back to back. They show up, right next to each other. Emperor or the empress, and then we get the emperor right here showing out to coming out together side by side. But then we get this breakup card. So we're not sure if this breakup is, it looks like it's regarding this couple that does come out, because we got the three of swords and the concern, and then we got the hope. So that three of swords, everybody should know that that's the heartbreak card. And then, we can clearly see what this heartbreak is about. And it's actually regarding this breakup. This heartbreak is causing a break, it's because of a breakup. Because, the three of swords is right here in this third row, which does cause a level of concern for somebody. And it even left them feeling hopeless. Maybe about some fast action that they took, you know, regarding this game that was being played. And it says, and they must have lost, when it looked like they maybe won, but in all actuality they lost. Whomever this community is and this team, they actually lost when it did look like a gain or a win, a victory, but it wasn't a victory because there was a witness to some level of delusion, some delusion there was a witness to it. And it says, better to light a candle than curse the darkness. Smart as fuck. And that, it speaks of, to me, some kind of candle magic also being done in the background by this team, trying to keep something alive. And I'm thinking that this Empress in the reverse with this marriage, her relationship is struggling at this point. And it looks like she did some black magic on this marriage situation to try to keep it alive. She did some spell work, because she does not have any hope, and it's caused her to be concerned. She had to take fast action about this heartbreak. Or maybe this fast action did cause some heartbreak, and they thought, like I said, they thought they had won on something. They thought they were victorious when it came to whatever plans that they had with this community, whatever they did work on as a team. And, this couple that comes out, looking like and whatever jealousy that she had towards this Queen of Wands, or either, the jealousy, right, is directed towards this Queen of Wands, or maybe she's this main female may be jealous of the fact that there's the Emperor and the Empress coming out on deck, together side by side. That may cause somebody to be jealous of that. Or if she's not jealous of that, then she's jealous of this Queen of Wands. Because this is the only upright character so far that I see, besides this older gentleman here that is in concern about this Three of Swords. And he isn't concerned about this relationship that has broken up with his empress, or his fake ass empress, because she does come out in the reverse. So she's really not an empress, and she's not, that type of a nurturer. She's not somebody that can produce or make anything grow, but she looks like she can. She acts like she can. She pretends to be an empress, but she's not. She's actually like she's a worst nightmare, somebody's worst nightmare. And then next in our fourth row, we do get the card of another marriage card in the reverse. Is this the same row? No, that's hope. Oh, I already did this row with this coffin and this marriage. There's been a breakup because that marriage is in the reverse. And then something, I think somebody had worked on some things like with somebody's food, trying to put spell work on their food. And, even delusions, casting delusional spells and things like that to try to keep this marriage alive, because this marriage has been ended. It's ending. And someone's trying to stop that with candle magic and black magic and even food magic. There's things that people can do to food that can put spells and stuff on your actual food plate. She's probably serving up her spouse with some black magic to try to keep their relationship alive. And this, stuff that they worked on as a team, that there is a witness to it. There's a witness to this stuff that they worked on. And there's a witness that even, did, this witness even seen the black magic and the candle magic being done, to keep this marriage alive. It's left this mature man hopeless. It's left him hopeless. Whatever fast action he took, and it did cause a heartbreak. This fast action did cause a heartbreak. And it appeared to be a victory. But it says they actually win when they lose, and then they lose when they win. So that's a flip flop, something to change directions, for this mature male, or this, he's very mature because he has a silver hair. And then coming out in our fifth row, we get the Ten of Cups along with the marriage card. So that speaks of a happy home, a happy family, and the white picket fence. And then we get an upright marriage card coming out in this spread as well, And then we also get the card of the message, but it is in the reverse. This message card is in the reverse. So that tells me that maybe this message was not received, or maybe this message was bad news, about this Ten of Cups. And this Ten of Wands also comes out 10-10. Something is ended. And that's what this message was about. It was about the end of something. Of this, something that was done over the legal limit. And then it says, love yourself and you will have no rivals. So someone's sacral chakra has been flipped into the reverse also in this tarot spread, which does speak of, the sexual organs, being in the reverse, probably due to this illness that comes out in this first row. And it's caused the ending, because that 10-10 speaks of the end. You got a 10 of cups here, and then you got a 10 of wands here. That clearly depicts an end to something due to this bad news that they received from this message. And then, something came to an end with that 1010, and it's probably this marriage. It shows up twice in the spread, once in the reverse and once in the upright. And that could be speaking of two different relationships, two different couples. And I'm assuming that's exactly what it is. One of them's in the upright and one of them is breaking up. That's all I can say on that. And then